Hello, everybody. It's Rick. It's February 20th, 2017. And anybody that needs to reach me, Rick0327 at me.com. me.com. It's taken me 50 videos to remember to do that. And I apologize for not doing that. Because, when I start these videos, I start off with an idea and, I go off on my tangents and we end up all over the place. But what I'm doing, I told you, I'm always, thinking and I'm always adding stuff. So I created 2 more affidavits. And one is very important. It's what I did. And I apologize. I probably should have done this sooner, It's an affidavit. You're going to send it to the clerk, the county clerk, in the county where the support order was created. And what you're going to do is you're going to send it there. In the top right corner, you're going to send a certified receipt. Before you mail it out, you're going to get the receipt, you're going to get the number, you're going to write it in the right-hand top corner. I have a section there. It's a certified number. You write it there. You put the number there, and you're going to get it notarized, get everything notarized. I get emails from people all the time. It's like, Rick, do I notarize it? Yeah, notarize it. You don't have to, but notarize it. You never hurt, so notarize it. Yeah, sure. Look at this fucking, this stupid phone. I got a new iPhone 7. It's heavy, and then the roads in New York are so freaking bad. Every time I hit a bump, the phone shakes all over the place. So we're sending it to the clerk, and we're going to demand proof that there's a support order entered with the clerk's office as it's supposed to be. And I guarantee you it's not. And then what we're doing is you're asking him, you're going to also put a self-addressed envelope with 3 stamps on it. One person asked me, Rick, why 3? Why not? Usually when you have a lot of paperwork, it's more than 1 stamp. It usually takes 2 stamps. I say, you know what? Let's make it 3 stamps just to make sure. Because we're dealing with some wicked people, man. I'm telling you. I've sent stuff to the clerk's office where they stamped it, and they must have looked at it and they realized I got them, and they sent it back to me in an envelope, and they removed the timestamp on it from the clerk, the receive stamp. That's how wicked, we're dealing with wicked people, guys. So it's like, let's just use 3 stamps to make sure the letter gets to you. You know what I mean? Because they'll claim that they dropped it in the mail and you never get it. I caught my one lawyer doing that nonsense. She was purposely mailing it to a wrong address, and she was never mailing it. This is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with, with tricksters. So what you're going to do is you're going to do that right away. We want to get that as soon as possible, and then hopefully once you have that, and then you start getting the responses back from the child support enforcement, your employer. We're going to get the the income withholding order. Hopefully you're going to have the fake court order. And how do we know if a court order is void? All right. Well, first of all, if it was attained by depriving you of your due process, it's automatically void. But you could check also on its face. All right. Let's say it is signed by a judge. Was it entered with the clerk? A lot of times I see deputy clerks, or it just says entered, family court or whatever the court is. But it has to be entered and signed by a clerk. There's a case law. What is it again? I should know this by now. I've cited it so many times. It's a case law from the Federal Appeals Court that an order order signed by a deputy clerk is void for lacking a judicial signature. It's under 28 U.S.C. 1691. Okay, they have United States codes that they have to be signed by all writs, and all orders are writs. That's what it is. Anything coming from a United States court must be under the seal of the court and under the signature of the clerk. Okay? Anytime you see an actual real court order that's done properly, whenever they want it to be done correctly, and it's usually like when their friends are like lawyers and stuff and they're going to get their money, you always see the judgment from the judge. And, a lot of times the judge doesn't even sign it. It's just signed by the county clerk, and then they enter it because it's for their buddies. But when they're stealing money from us, they never do it right. All right? So, and now what are we going to do when we have all of this information? I created an affidavit. It's called an Affidavit of Information. And it's going to be sent to the state attorney general. And it's a criminal complaint, basically, and you're going to send it to that man or woman, and it's going to show evidence that your property was being stolen, basically seized by incomplete written instruments, which is a forgery. If you look up, Google incomplete written instruments, a lot of times it comes up as a forgery. It's incomplete. It's lacking something. It's lacking some authentication. It's lacking some legal process. So, and what is due process? I'll say it again. Due process is something that's due to complete the process. So, like here in New York State, these support magistrates, they hold these fake hearings. They issue they issue these support orders, and I'm the one that caught them on this. I never heard anybody talking about this. I'm the one that caught them with this. They never had it signed by a judge. And it states it very clearly in the Family Court Act 439, which is where they get their jurisdiction. And they never have it signed by a judge. And then they send it off to the support collections people, and then they start their collection practices. And it's all based upon an incomplete written instrument. Okay? So that's an incomplete written instrument. It's a forgery. All right? So what we're doing is we're notifying people that your property was seized by incomplete written instruments, void judgments. I just updated that demand to vacate. I added a couple of things to it. There's a decision. It's Federal Rule 60, subsection B4, that says the federal courts are supposed to vacate. And state courts, because state courts are bound by federal rules as well. They must vacate any judgment void for failure to follow due process. Remember I keep telling you I'm attacking the support order. That's the basis that I'm going by and that we're going by. We're saying the support order is void. Why is it void? It's void for lack of judicial signature. It's void. It's signed by a fake judge. It's void because they didn't have a trial by jury. See, any controversy of $20 or more, you're supposed to have a trial by jury. They don't want you to know that. So what they do is they claim that you waived your rights. If you don't waive your rights, if you don't protest or object, they just say, "Oh, okay, he didn't object, so it's okay for us to do it." You know what they did with me? They just ignored me. You know what I mean? In my case. So what we're doing is we're getting stuff on paper, and the Attorney General will respond. They have to, and especially the way I write. And what it is evidence. And then down the road, when it's time to sue these people, guess who's supposed to defend these actors, these state actors that we're going to be suing? The Attorney General. But how is the Attorney General going to represent them after you already were a step ahead and said, "Oh, by the way, this person here issued an incomplete written instrument that resulted in the seizure of however much property they've stolen from you up until this point." And listen, a void judgment is a void judgment. If you had a case going back to 2008 or whatever, and it's a void judgment, guess what? You can start the process. Now, again, it's not easy. It took me a while to get it done. And I'm still trying to get my money back. All right, but I know I will. All right, but I got them to stop. And, this writ of quo warranto, I got this clown harassing me, some YouTube channel. He's a fucking idiot. I had to block him. Listen, I make no bones about it. If I got some moron on my channel, listen, I have no problem if somebody offers me some information. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Hey, I'm not perfect, I'm just going by what worked for me. But this clown was like, quit quo warranto only works in a criminal matter. Like, what are you talking about, you idiot? And he's commented on a video where the writ quo warranto worked for me. Now, here's the thing. It wasn't the writ of quo warranto that got my case dismissed. It's what got me in front of the judge. You understand? It's a tool to get back into court. Okay? That's what got me back into the court, because I was trying so many different things that didn't work. Remember I read it to you a couple weeks back? They have to respond within 3 to 21 days. It's a common law writ, but they all have to, it's in every state. So I got this idiot, I still receive an email every time he makes a comment on my video. So it's like, you got your case dismissed because CPL 5015. Yeah, idiot, I did. But it was a writ of quo warranto that got me in front of the judge, knucklehead. And he's claiming he's got some legal education. Listen, take a hike, idiot. I got no time for these fucking morons. And he's just a jealous little bitch because, I got people following me, and I've not had not a one complaint. Not one. Okay? Because I know I'm right. I know I'm right because of the responses I got. This is what I did. And people are getting responses. Again, it's a process. Remember, we're dealing with criminals. Okay? So it's never going to take overnight. Remember I told you they're never going to get the paperwork and go, he's got us now. They never do that. So it's just a process. We're gathering evidence. We're putting a case together. And then ultimately what we're going to do is we're going to end up going to an appellate court. Once we have all our ducks in a row, then the next step is to go to an appellate court and bring forth the evidence. Okay? But you can't do this until you take my affidavits and you start sending them out. All right? So I added 2 more. All right? And I updated the demand to vacate. Okay? I added a couple things to it. So I just wanted to check in with everybody, let you know what's going on, and I hope everybody's doing okay. And I'm not even going to say the name of that idiot's channel, because one of my subscribers, she notified me, and I knew it was like a dig at me, because he got like a little bitch, like, you blocked my comments. Yeah, I block idiotic comments, yes. If you're going to come on my channel and you're going to start making these dumb statements and not back it up, right out of the chute. It only works for criminal matter. Well, my case wasn't a criminal matter. And why did the judge, and he mentioned it, by the way, in his paperwork, the writ of quo warranto. So I guess I was wrong. But anyway, I blocked you anyway, you idiot. All right, guys, take it easy and enjoy the rest of your day. I'm sorry about the shaky camera, but these iPhone 7s are gigantic and they weigh a lot. I'll talk to you later.